man. We're gonna try that one more time, baby. Okay, let's give it to them one more time. We're gonna try that shit from the top, boy. Okay, I'm sorry. Boom. All right, let's get into this thing. So,
Take 4. Let's go. I need to turn the music down probably. Alright, let's go. So, over the last 5 to 7 years, I've been working on a few characters, and from there, a whole world started forming. That eventually became the foundation for a manga I'm trying to make, finally. See, I've been a huge fan of anime and manga for as long as I can remember, and it's influenced pretty much all of my art, even my painting, even my artist name, Shinobi. But yeah, now I'm finally sitting down to write chapter 1. It's been about 8 years since I first read Vagabond, and I'd say that's like the biggest inspiration for this, alongside with One Piece. I figured dropping this video might help make the whole thing feel a bit more real for me, and maybe for you too. So let me break down what I've got so far. The world, the setting, and a few characters, and where the story begins.
in the year 3033, scientists predicted the end of the world. Cosmic radiation, ozone failure, climate collapse, all of it unstoppable. The AI they built to save us came back with two answers: a towering vertical city known as Kodoku Tower, and a drug called Evolux. Evolux was supposed to trigger rapid evolution, and it did. It made people immune, healed cells, and stopped aging altogether. But it also made humanity infertile. So, death disappeared, but so did birth. Time froze. The world fell into stasis. Humanity built the tower, but not everyone survived. Most life on Earth didn't get the drug in time. Some who did couldn't handle the mutations. Out of everyone who took Evolux, only about 20% lived. And of that 20%, only 19% made it into the tower. The rest died in the outside zones, the Deadlands. Inside the tower, survivors split into three species: humans, now sterile but immortal; chimeras, animals who mutated into hybrid beings, sometimes animal, sometimes human, sometimes a bit worse, somewhere in between; and the cyborgs, ultra elite humans who fuse their bodies with tech to escape biology entirely. The tower's design. The Kodoku Tower is divided into 9 sectors, 3 underground, 6 above. Each sector lives by its own laws, its own culture, and its own madness. The bottom sectors are wastelands, exiles, gangs, bloodsmiths, scavengers, anyone rejected by the system. And some of them also religious cults. The middle sectors are dominated by chimera clans, 3 major clans, somewhere between spiritual, tribal, and sometimes violently organized. A trial-based society. And then the top 3 sectors belong to the cyber class, who live above nature altogether and barely even remember the world below. Every few centuries the tower is supposed to shift. Sectors are meant to rise or fall based on strength, growth, or conquest. A survival of the fittest system, based on Kodoku, an ancient Japanese ritual where insects are trapped in a jar until one devours the others. being the last one with the most poisonous venom. That's the system the tower is based on. But the cycle has stopped. The sectors haven't shifted in generations. Wars lead nowhere. Some unseen hand is freezing the system. Or multiple hands, perhaps. The ninth sector, where our story begins. The lowest floor of the tower. Where freedom still breathes, barely. We follow a man named Nana, once a high-ranking member of the Crimson Order, now a blind wanderer. He sees through a technique he created called blood mist, turning his blood into a field of vision and weaponry. He's what they call a bloodsmith, someone who uses cellular mastery and the concept of resonance to manipulate their blood as a weapon. When Nana learns that his student has been captured, he decides it's time to ascend again, to confront the conspiracy that froze the world, and maybe shake the tower loose. Life in the tower? Society in the tower revolves around three pillars: occupation, combat, leisure. Occupation in this sense means survival, living day-to-day life as best as you can. Shops, crafts, trades, research, eternal careers in an unending life. Combat, sometimes for entertainment, sometimes survival. Blood sport, ritual duels, civil war. Fighting is spiritual, political, and profitable. Leisure, where the mind goes when the body can't die. This is where the drugs come in. The drugs? Drugs in the tower aren't just substances, they're experiences, escapes, or punishments. There's three major drugs: Deadlock, the titular drug, Death Pass, and then Life Flash. Deadlock, consider this one a neurological override. 1 second outside becomes a week inside your mind. Addicts fall into recursive thought loops, reliving dreams or trauma endlessly. Mental fortitude is important when taking this. Death Pass, a forced ignition. Heart rate spikes, muscles rapture, reflex hit superhuman speed. Often used in slave fights and blood sport arenas. Life Flash, a memory injection. You take in someone else's past, their joy, their rage, their love, their trauma. And rich elites use it to feel real. A perverse realness. A perverse endeavor. Some people live through drugs. Others live through blood. Bloodsmithing, the power system. It's not just magic. In fact, it's not magic. It's not science either. It's mind over matter. It's cellular will. It's a form of evolution. It starts with learning to control your heartbeat, then finding the resonant frequency of your blood. When heartbeat and blood sync, you create resonance, a blood field that lets you manipulate your own blood outside your body. That's just the beginning. The path splits from there. Blood mist, blood spark, blood flare. Blood mist, blood infused smoke, in other words. Users breathe in a special strain of weed called saber-tooth ganja, which creates microscopic cuts in their lungs. Only an immortal could survive this. The user exhales blood smoke, weaponized, shaped, and moved like an extension of the body. Nana is the master of the style, and he uses it to see. Blood spark, charge separation. We have to stretch our minds a bit for this one. The user isolates positive and negative ions in iron in their blood. This allows them to control magnetic fields, electric shocks, even muscle control. It's precise, scientific, and very dangerous. It takes a toll on the body. Blood flare, last but not least, ethanol-based combustion. The user keeps high alcohol levels in their blood. Once triggered, their blood ignites. The result? Explosive trails, flare bursts, combustion defense. Most flare users are functional alcoholics by nature. Power scales with intoxication levels also. And finally, Crimson Order. Mentioned them already briefly. They are the cult state that rules the 7th sector and controls the 8th through trance, drugs, and ideology, and a huge fog through an implementation of a form of blood mist. They worship the god of stasis, believing change itself is evil. Every day they perform ritual suicide, spilling their own immortal blood in cycles of resurrection and war. Their soldiers, the Red Reavers, enforce the system. They're also part of the larger conspiracy to keep the tower frozen, naturally. They work secretly with the Maladies, a syndicate that controls drug and sex trafficking in the 8th sector. The Maladies are not a part of the other. They just collude, quietly, profitably, same as almost everybody else. But more to say on that later on. That's where the story begins for now. There's a lot more I haven't touched. Characters, deeper ideologies, other Bloodsmith branches, but this is the world I've been building for years, so, it's time I finally start letting it out. So, if you don't mind, please let me know what you think down below. What caught your attention? What did it make sense? And I'll dive deeper into other parts in the next video. Anyways, much love. Deuces. Don't let the bed bugs bite unless you're into that stuff. Remember, we don't kink shame over here. Everybody do what makes them happy. Have a great one. Deuces, deuces, deuces.
Alright, boom. So that brings us to the end of the video. And like I said, please do let me know your thoughts down below. And especially actually on the voice effect, because I just kind of felt weird hearing my own voice throughout the whole video. But yeah, lo-fi art radio type vibe. So let me know down below. Have a great one. Deuces.